First tonight on Our News, live at 7, that now viral video of a school brawl in Grand Bahama receiving strong condemnation from the education minister, calling the violent exchange embarrassing. Plus, we'll tell you the court-ordered counseling for a mother charged with child cruelty after prosecutors say she beat her teenage daughter with a USB cord. Also, the sports minister contradicts the findings of a recent audit on the 50th Kifa Games, saying he didn't see the final Auditor General's report until it was tabled. Then in our news at 7:30, the politics of marital rape. The opposition leader accuses the Prime Minister of being a serial flip-flopper on the issue. Why he says he needs to make up his mind. Straight ahead. Our News live at 7 starts right now. This is Our News live at 7. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Kendino Knowles. Education Minister Glenys Hannah Martin says arrests were made in connection to the viral video of a fight at 8 Mile Rock High School in Grand Bahama. In the video, you can see several students and a school resource officer. A statement issued by the Ministry of Education yesterday noted it has a zero-tolerance approach to school violence and takes very seriously any such incident that disrupts the school environment. It also explained the school's administrative team is working closely with police in Grand Bahama to address the incident. When asked about the student's punishment, Hannah Martin telling Our News,
from what I'm hearing, there were arrests, and it's a matter for the police. So the police don't suspend you from school. They deal with you in a different way. So we have to wait to see what is the result of the police investigation. That was criminal activity that we saw. It looked like criminal activity. And so this is a matter that the police is investigating, and we await their reports on the outcomes. I can't comment until we know what the full facts are.
Hannah Martin says she understands the incident began in the community and spilled over to the school campus. She called the situation unfortunate and embarrassing, but she says it also presents an opportunity to improve strategies.
A number of strategies are being developed as we speak today, which will be deployed immediately, which we think will allow us to address some of the challenges that were highlighted in this particular incident. And so, unfortunate, embarrassing. I want to acknowledge Sergeant Colebrook, the officer who is on the campus to maintain, just a level of cordiality on the campus, and who found himself having to engage in such a way and to receive an injury. I want to thank him for his service, and we are praying for his full recovery.
Meanwhile, the Bahamas Union of Teachers also condemning the violence at 8 Mile Rock High School. Coming up in Our News at 7:30, the union president calls for an urgent focus on conflict resolution. Well, a mother who injured her teenage daughter has been ordered to undergo counseling. The 34-year-old woman pleaded guilty to child cruelty at her arraignment before Assistant Chief Magistrate Carolyn Vogt Evans. Her name has been withheld to protect the identity of the child. The woman's 14-year-old daughter stayed out 2 hours past her 9 p.m. curfew on April 20th, prompting her mother to look for her. The mother found her daughter dancing in the street. The upset mother started hitting her child, who was struck in the eye with a USB cord. The mother is expected back in court on July 29th for a status hearing. Sports Minister Marital contradicting findings of a recently released Auditor General's report on the 50th Kifa Games. Boleg says the final audit on the games held in the Bahamas last year had a surplus and not a deficit. Sasha Lightborn has this recap from the minister who spoke to the issue in Parliament this morning.
The Kifa Games ended successfully in a surplus balance of $185,000 and not a deficit of $800,000. This settles the matter of any overspending.
That was Sports Minister Mario Boleg in the House of Assembly today, expressing his disappointment that the Auditor General's report on the 50th Kifa Games was not presented to him. The report was tabled in Parliament last week. Boleg says the Davis administration has been transparent as he tabled the financial statements for the Games.
Since the release of this report, which I received just Sunday upon my return to the country. This has been corrected, and I can confirm to the Parliament that the auditor is now in possession of these reports.
The 2023 Carifta Games were held here in the Bahamas last April. The 23-page audit covered the period from September 1st, 2022 to April 30th, 2023 and was conducted by Auditor General Terence Bastian. The audit found a deficit of $829,000. Documents presented did not indicate the 2023 Carifta Games company was registered correctly, among other discrepancies.
I must express my profound disappointment that the final version of the audited reports for the Carifta Games and the Bahama Games were not brought to my attention before presented and tabled in Parliament. Madam Speaker, I will personally meet with the local organization committee to critically assess the audit's findings.
Now, CEO of the local organizing committee for Carifta 50, Lyndon Maycock, shared exclusively with Our News last week that he was not in agreement with the audit and he wanted the Prime Minister to intervene. Reporting for Our News, I'm Sasha Lightbourne.
All right, thanks for that, Sasha. Meanwhile, Member of Parliament for East Grand Bahama, Kwesi Thompson, says he's not optimistic that a solution to the Grand Bahama Port Authority and government fiasco will be found before tomorrow's deadline. April 25th will mark 30 days since government demanded the Port Authority pay $350 million or face arbitration proceedings. The opposition has openly called for transparency before any of this happens.
Well, we have not seen the facts. The government has not yet. We've called upon the government to produce the report so that we all can understand why it is that the government is saying they owe this money. That is a very complicated term. One side is saying they owe it. The other side is saying that they don't owe it. So we need to understand the facts as to why it is that the government is saying that. We've called upon them to make that public, but they still have not yet done so.
And after weeks of rising tensions between government and the Port Authority, lawyers for the two sides were scheduled to have a meeting, according to Prime Minister Philip Davis. Whether that meeting has happened yet remains unclear. Thompson says it's something his side of the floor has been suggesting all along.
We notice now that things are moving in terms of what we said should happen, which is the parties really should be talking. And the parties really should not be fighting. Any public fight between the government and the Port Authority is not in the best interest of Grand Bahama. It is not in the best interest of Bahamians.
And now to the iconic Queen Staircase making news tonight after an extensive 8-week restoration project. The historic landmark emerging with what some are calling revived majesty. Captivating locals and tourists alike, our Marlena Leonard, she gives us a glimpse into the rejuvenated landmark featuring its functional tandem waterfalls and a refreshed lighting scheme in less than 5 minutes. But for now, it's time for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg, did you get to see the Queen Staircase?
Not since the restoration, but I've been there a couple of times, and I'm happy that they are doing some restoration to the place.
It looks really extraordinary.
Yeah, waiting to see the report.
Sure.
I got a little surprise for you too. There's a system in the Atlantic that the National Hurricane Center has been watching, but this is going to be a very short-lived system. But we'll show you that later on in the newscast at the end of the hour. 75 degrees outside our studios, though. It's pretty nice on the outside. Few clouds, but it's on the warm side. East-northeast winds at 10 miles per hour, and it feels like 76 on the outside. Temperatures around the islands right now, cool 72 in Freeport, 73 in Marsh Harbour, Abaco, Alistown, Bimini, and Governor's Harbour, 74 is there, 75 in Great Harbour Key as well as here in the capital. Nicholstown, Andros, you guys are 76, that's what, Big Yard. Central Bahamas, 76 in Kemps Bay, 75 Arthurstown, Cat Island, Coop and Townsend, Salvador, pair of 77s in Georgetown and Deadman's Key. And into the southeast Bahamas, 79, Duncantown, Ragged Island. 78s in Colonel Hill, Crooked Island, Delectable Bay, Abrahams Bay, 79 in Providenciales and Matthewtown, where you are the warm spot at 82 degrees at this hour. Satellite and radar composites showing quiet conditions across the area. High pressure is in charge. There is a weak front, not much of a boundary, hanging out near the southeast Bahamas, but that frontal boundary is producing quite a bit of rainfall and some thunderstorms across Hispaniola. But high pressure will dominate our weather for the next couple of days, and we're looking for some very nice, comfortable temperature, but the wind's expected to pick up by the end of the week. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Thanks, Greg. And still to come on our news, we'll show you the $200,000 facelift for the iconic Queen's Staircase. The landmark now back better than ever after an 8-week restoration project. And we'll tell you the cruise port's massive investment in food security, including a poultry program for schools and the redevelopment of the Blue Hill Road Farmers Market. The story when Our News returns.
Season 1 was amazing. Then be prepared for season 2. More amazing artists, more amazing videos, and surprises you won't believe. Will Stax be the first rapper to ever hit #1? Or will Kenya continue her dominant reign? Or will someone new come and shut it all down? Stay tuned for season 2 of 242 The Gospel.
A whole new season of Goombay Kids is coming soon. The kids find themselves on more exciting island adventures, meeting mythical characters, pirates, and mermaids as they explore their beautiful island nation. The Goombay Kids learn all about nutrition, marine life, the environment, cultures from around the world, and more, all with the help of the Goombay Kid experts, who are never more than a Goombay gadget away. Get ready to have a Goombay adventure.
What's up, this your boy Wyclef Jean. I'm chilling with Charlie Bahama, numéro 1, numero uno, number 1.
Charlie Bahama is back with new episodes.
How long we go back? Last time, CSMB is early 90s.
In the Bahamas, what's some of your favorite Bahamian dishes?
I love fire engine. If you had a fire engine, you've never been to Bahamas.
You're right. So catch Charlie Bahama's new episodes coming soon on Our TV, Cable Bahamas Channel 212.
So you said you're here for Sully's funeral? How do you know Sully?
He was my rock and my anchor.
Yeah, he was a good man.
He most certainly was not. Watch what you say about Sully. Who is this child?
Your sisters. I'm asking you to do a few things for me. Once they are done, you will both receive your inheritance. The Paradise Hotel.
When can I sell? Is this what the hotel is really worth?
Don't take this the wrong way. It isn't really much of a hotel.
Welcome to Our TV News. This is your boy.
The Queen's Staircase is back and better than ever after an 8-week restoration project. Marlena Leonard was at the grand unveiling yesterday evening and tells us all about the refreshed iconic landmark.
With the tandem waterfall fountains functional and lighting treatment refreshed, it's hard to imagine the $200,000 revitalization of the Queen's Staircase was done in under 2 months. Nassau and Paradise Island Promotion Board CEO Joy Gibberlew details the long list of work that had to be done on the project.
Over the past 2 months, teams have worked assiduously to clean, repair, and restore the waterfall, which I have since learned is known as tandem falls, and installing state-of-the-art lighting within the water feature. We've also cleaned the surrounding area, installed new lighting throughout, and introduced new landscaping and upgraded signage.
NPIPB's support also extends to the maintenance of the area, including monthly servicing and cleaning of the waterfall. Chair of the Antiquities, Monuments and Museum Corporation, Roselle Moxie, took the audience on a journey of the history of the steps.
The stairs are no longer of interest to just a few of us, but instead is enjoyed by all of us, and by now millions of our visitors. This evening, we stand on the shoulders of those who came before us. Let us reflect on the profound lessons this site imparts. Carved from the very earth of our past, this staircase serves as a reminder of our ability to not only transcend adversity, but to make something beautiful and purposeful out of it.
With the success and fast turnaround of the restoration of the classic landmark, the Prime Minister says another iconic spot is up next.
And I'd like to say, Dr. Curry and Chairman Moxie, that Cabinet has approved the funding and the immediate restoration of the water tower and its environs.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Marlena Leonard.
And the Nassau Cruise Port donating $1.5 million. Well, let's get that right. $1.5 million towards projects that will assist the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources in its goal to secure food security. Nassau Cruise Port CEO Mike Mora got a first-hand look at presentations including a poultry program for schools, a chicken broiler production program, the redevelopment of the Blue Hill Road Farmers Market, and an authentic Bahamian cultural concept store. That's when he says he came up with the idea to donate.
Nassau Cruise Port has made a pledge to BAIC and its affiliates of $2 million, of which approximately $50,000 was spent through a BAIC trade show about 3 years ago, and so that leaves about $1.95 million remaining. And so we will be supporting the projects that were presented today with those monies, and just waiting on some information from the ministry here. But we can't wait to get started.
Labor and Public Service Minister Pia Glover-Rold and Agriculture Minister Jomo Campbell, both on hand for the donation. They hailed the Nassau Cruise Port as a great community partner.
We're happy that you have agreed to partner with us. We look forward to indeed a partnership. We hope to welcome some of your visitors over to the Fish Fry of the South after this amazing renovation is done. So we thank you for being a great community partner.
As I've always been reminded in growing up, I'd like to say thanks to God for this opportunity and this partnership in bringing us all together as we move forward, upward, onward together in building a better, brighter, more beautiful Bahamas.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as a women's march protest at the Supreme Court in the United States grabs international headlines. Plus, airlines now required to refund
Season 1 was amazing.
and delayed flights. And the smiling robot face using AI to mimic a person's smile. We'll tell you the latest advancement when our news returns.
For Season 2, more amazing artists, more amazing videos, and surprises you won't believe. Will Stax be the first rapper to ever hit #1? Or will Kenya continue her dominant reign? Or will someone new come and shut it all down? Stay tuned for Season 2 of 242 The Gospel.
A whole new season of Goombay Kids is coming soon. The kids find themselves on more exciting island adventures, meeting mythical characters, pirates, and mermaids as they explore their beautiful island nation. The Goombay Kids learn all about nutrition, marine life, the environment, cultures from around the world, and more, all with the help of the Goombay Kid experts, who are never more than a Goombay gadget away. Get ready to have a Goombay adventure.
What's up, this your boy Wyclef Jean. I'm chilling with Charlie Bahama, numéro 1, numero uno, number 1.
Charlie Bahama is back with new episodes.
How long we go back? Last time, CSNB is early 90s.
In the Bahamas, what's some of your favorite Bahamian dishes?
I love fire engine. If you had a fire engine, you've never been to Bahamas.
You're right. So catch Charlie Bahama's new episodes coming soon on our TV, Cable Bahamas Channel 212.
So you said you're here for Sally's funeral? How do you know Sally?
He was my rock and my anchor.
Yeah, he was a good man.
He most certainly was not. Watch what you say about Sully. Who is this child?
Your sisters. I'm asking you to do a few things for me. Once they are done, you will both receive your inheritance. The Paradise Hotel.
When can I sell? Is this what the hotel is really worth?
Don't take this the wrong way. It isn't really much of a hotel.
Welcome to our TV News. This is your boy Charlie Bahama. And in the news today, the Charlie Bahama.
This is our news. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. Today, the United States Supreme Court revisited the abortion debate, weighing Idaho's strict ban against federal emergency care laws. Idaho officials appeal a ruling that federal law supersedes state bans in rare conflicts. Demonstrators, both for and against abortion rights, gathered outside, reflecting the national divide. Idaho is among 7 states with recent near-total abortion bans sparking contentious legal battles.
It clearly states that women don't matter, that the fetus they carry matters more. They're conduits instead of people. They're not even given proper access to health treatment and health care that they require.
I don't want legislators telling me what I can do with my body. And if I need safe health care, then I should be afforded that. If they don't want to have an abortion, don't have one.
And good news for travelers to and from the United States, as the Department of Transportation implementing new regulations requiring airlines to automatically refund cash for canceled or significantly delayed flights. On Wednesday, Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg called it a landmark expansion of passenger rights, ensuring prompt refunds regardless of deadly duration or delays or duration. These rules cover tickets from any source and mandate refunds within 7 days in cash for lost luggage or service failures. Airlines must comply within 6 months. Buttigieg also announced forthcoming regulations on family seating fees, wheelchair passenger rights, and transparency regarding hidden fees. And a new study warns that climate change will slash global income by 19% over the next 25 years, hitting poorest regions hardest. Researchers at Germany's Potsdam Institute Climate Impact Research Project, they project a staggering 38 trillion annual cost by 2049, doubling by 2100. Even developed nations like Germany and the United States face significant income reductions. Climate scientist Max Coates explains that while income will still grow in most places, it will be 19% less than it could have been without climate change. Coates emphasized that temperature increases, not extreme weather events, are the primary drivers of economic damage. The university's Creative Machines lab engineers have crafted Emo, a robot adept at mirroring human facial expressions, filling a gap in nonverbal communication. Emo's 26 facial actuators and silicone skin enable lifelike responses complemented by AI-driven facial expression prediction. This breakthrough said to signal a pivotal shift in human-robot interaction, fostering trust and paving the way for natural conversations. Emo, detailed in Science Robotics, forecasts and replicates expressions, even preempting a smile milliseconds in advance. Lead authors share the project's aim to refine human-robot interactions, making them intuitive amidst advancing AI. Still to come in our news, today in history, find out interesting facts about the day that was April 24th. Then in our news at 7:30, that now viral video of a brawl on a Grand Bahama schoolyard sparks outrage as the teachers union president calls the incident disgraceful. And the environmental concerns on Abaco as residents complain of a strong stench of diesel. The story when our news returns.
I'm chilling with Charlie Bahama, numéro 1, número 1, number 1.
Charlie Bahama is back with new episodes.
How long we go back? Last time, CSMB is early 90s.
In the Bahamas, what's some of your favorite Bahamian dishes?
I love fire engine. If you had a fire engine, you've never been to Bahamas.
You're right.
So catch Charlie Bahama's new episodes coming soon on Our TV, Cable Bahamas Channel 212.
So you said you're here for Sully's funeral? How do you know Sully?
He was my rock and my anchor.
Yeah, he was a good man.
He most certainly was not. Watch what you say about Sully. Who is this child?
Your sisters. I'm asking you to do a few things for me. Once they are done, you will both receive your inheritance. The Paradise Hotel.
When can I sell? Is this what the hotel is really worth?
Don't take this the wrong way. It isn't really much of a hotel.
Welcome to our TV News. This is your boy Charlie Bahama. And in the news today, the Charlie Bahama Show will be coming back on right here on our TV, Channel 212 in April.
Numéro 1, número 1, number 1.
I love fire engine. If you had a fire engine, you've never been to Bahamas.
So stay tuned for some really hot new episodes right here on this same channel, 212. Good job, boys. Good job.
This is 242 The Gospel, where we celebrate our Bahamian artists. You've been asking for more, and we're here to deliver. Welcome to the second season of 242 The Gospel. Who will be number one? Let's find out.
Welcome back to Our News. It's time now to turn our spotlight on events that shaped the day that was April 24th. Take a look.
On this day in Bahamian history, in 1891, Emma Jane Poitier was born in Duncantown, Ragged Island. Poitier was a community activist and one of the leaders and supporters in the women's suffrage movement, and ardent supporter of the fledgling Progressive Liberal Party. The Historical Society notes many of the early PLP meetings in the Masons Addition area were held on her front porch. She is described as a fierce nationalist who supported every major event in Bahamian history that would eventually lead to its independence. Poitier died on September 16, 1983. And on April 24, 2013, then Minister of State for National Security Keith Bell accused the U.S. government of passing challenges onto the Bahamas by deporting ex-cons to the Bahamas after serving time. Bell claimed at the time that 1,000 hardened criminals were dumped by the U.S. in the Bahamas.
I vividly recall one individual who was deported from the United States. He served in the U.S. military and he was decorated with a Purple Heart, an expert in making bombs and the like. And we have these type of persons walking around in our society and committing crimes. Our big brother to the north would have issued a travel advisory, but the Bahamas do not produce firearms. We don't manufacture guns in this country. And a number of these persons who are deported, they're deported from their country here. And so they are basically just passing on the challenges or the problems to another jurisdiction. And unfortunately, we are the ones that have to clean up the mess.
And here's this great big country calling itself the greatest country on earth. They don't want to take nobody in, but they'll tell us to take them. And do you all appreciate the fact that on our shores now, there are over 1,000 hardened criminals, murderers, that came here from the United States, from Canada, from Britain, that were just dumped here on our shores?
Well, if you're looking for a family outing this weekend, then you may want to check out Tin Furl's new Paradise Island location. The popular vendor hub is making a comeback at its new location with a grand opening for the market. Tin Furl co-founder Brandon Kemp says they're happy to be back, and those who come out can expect a fun-filled event.
So the vendors are going all out with their food. For those that have been invited, there's free food for a certain amount of time. So we're really just going to treat everybody. A lot of people have put into this project, This is our chance to give thanks to them. We're going to have some live music as well. We're going to turn the lights on, go into the night, and open up the event for the public as well. So anybody that really wants to come through, get to know our vendors, get to know our team, we're all going to be here for that.
All right, this is their third location. The group initially started off at the Dundas Center for Performing Arts, then on Gladstone Road at the Old Fields Food Store building. Now they've landed, as we said, a spot on Paradise Island. Kemp says the whole goal is to support small business owners.
A little while back, they reached out to us because, they really had this mission of incorporating more local businesses, and they saw Tin Furl as a great way to tap into the small business community. So we've been doing, they had the Junkanoo Village, they used to have the Junkanoo Festival down there, a lot of their concerts as well. That right now is every vendor wants to get to these concerts. We have Janet Jackson coming up this weekend. And I guess through working with them for so long, they came to us one day and they said, hey, why don't you guys come and ask big? Ask us for something. So we came up with the idea to have our own like pop-up park over here on Paradise Island.
All right, excited to see that event. If you want to see that story again and for all of today's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs. That does it for us in News at 7. Joining us now is Atalia Hall. She's got the latest headlines. Atalia?
All right, Ken, thanks so much. Well, that now viral brawl on a Grand Bahama schoolyard sparks outrage plus environmental concerns on the island of Abaco. Here are your latest headlines. First tonight on Our News Live at 7:30, the leader of the Free National Movement says now is not the time to flip-flop on the topic of marital rape. We'll tell you what prompted his comments straight ahead. Plus, it's almost time to pay up. This is government demanded $300 million within 30 days from the Grand Bahama Port Authority. We have an update. Also, the president of the Bahamas Union of Teachers responding to that viral video involving students of the 8 Mile Rock High School in Grand Bahama. And later, an arrest warrant issued for an accused murderer. We have details from the courtroom when Our News Live at 7:30 returns.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
I'm Michaela Kerr. I'm an 18-year-old freshman at the University of the Bahamas, and I'm a computer science major. I'm also the NT Corporation's Youth Ambassador for the Environment, and I'm an environmentalist. My journey as the environmental advocate began with a simple yet profound realization that our environment is degrading right in front of my eyes. And being NT's Youth Ambassador for the Environment means that my words and my actions hold the power to help change the environment.
Welcome to Our News. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Atalia Hall. A high school brawl at the 8 Mile Rock High School in Grand Bahama caught on camera this week. Education Minister Glennis Hannah Martin says arrests were made in connection to the viral video and calls the situation unfortunate. While President of the Bahamas Union of Teachers Belinda Wilson is also weighing in on the matter, we'll get to her comments in a moment. But first, Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard is accusing the Prime Minister of flip-flopping after his recent comments on marital rape. Earlier this week, the Prime Minister said divorce is a solution to marital rape. Pintard insists at this point the nation's leader should make up his mind.
Opposition leader Michael Pintard blasting Prime Minister Philip Davis's most recent position on the hot-button topic of marital rape. Davis telling reporters on Monday that his solution to spousal rape would be divorce. He also said criminalizing marital rape was not a priority listed in the Davis's pre-administration blueprint for change. Before Monday's comments, Davis had gone on record stating that rape is rape no matter the circumstance. Pintard says now is not the time for flip-flopping.
The Prime Minister is a serial flip-flopper. He changes his position regularly. Again, you would recall the Prime Minister promised to address this issue, as he has promised with NIB and a number of other areas, and he continues to change his position. So he has to make a principled decision as the leader of the country versus trying to wet his finger and determine which direction the crowd is headed in.
In 2022, the government drafted a bill that would criminalize marital rape. It was slated to be tabled in Parliament by the end of 2023. However, Parliament prorogued. The Protection Against Violence bill was later passed. Some, including the Bahamas Crisis Center, are calling for the definition of rape to be changed on the books. Pintard says Davis's opinion needs to reflect a clear position.
What that opinion does not address is whether or not it is correct for a woman against her will to be forced to have sex where she may believe her life is at risk, or for other reasons she determined this is not the correct time.
And in the midst of all of the discussion, Pintard is calling on the Prime Minister to address the issue head-on.
The Prime Minister knows that this is a very complex issue, and he should not dismiss it with such an oversimplified response.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Thanks for that, Josh. Well, in the midst of a heated public feud between the Grand Bahama Port Authority and the government, there appears to be some sign of reconciliation. Prime Minister Philip Davis confirming last week lawyers from both sides will soon meet in the hope of a resolution. Tensions escalated when government demanded over $300 million from the GBPA within 30 days or face arbitration. The deadline looms, but the port insists it owes nothing. The port, in a statement today, acknowledged stakeholder concerns and urges confidence in their resilience. While evasive about whether any payment was made to government, GBPA President Ian Roll mentioned ongoing discussions with Grand Bahama Minister Ginger Moxie while speaking about an upcoming expo in support of local businesses on the island.
So the Ministry for Grand Bahama, which is the department that represents the government pertaining to this particular event, has fully endorsed this, and we have tourism and other government-related entities fully on board and engaged because we are working together to make this island a complete success, despite the noise in the marketplace.
Well, disgraceful is how the Bahamas Union of Teachers President Belinda Wilson is describing a schoolyard brawl between students and a school resource officer in Grand Bahama. The violent episode at the 8 Mile Rock High School was caught on camera. Wilson says it's clear kids need to be taught conflict resolution.
It is my understanding that this matter stemmed from problems several students had on the basketball court over the weekend that spilled over to the school campus. The students attacking the police and school administrator shows a complete disregard for authority. The Bahamas Union of Teachers will not tolerate this type of behavior from students.
The Ministry of Education has since released a statement condemning the act. According to the BUT president, a meeting was held between a union representative and teachers in Grand Bahama who've expressed concerns about their safety.
So there will be 2 police officers at the campus. They will increase the complement of security officers. An additional administrator is being sought, and there are other measures that are being considered. We will continue having our dialogue with the acting deputy director, the police, the parents, the school administrators, the teachers, and our union officers that are there.
Well, the hunt is on for an accused murderer who failed to show up for his trial. Justice Gregory Hilton has issued an arrest warrant for Rubens Olsame. He's accused of the January 1st, 2020 murder of Marvin Meadows, who was killed in a drive-by shooting at 3rd Street, Coconut Grove. A jury was selected to decide his fate last week. Olsame was freed on a $30,000 bail and wearing an ankle monitoring bracelet, but the monitoring company has lost track of him. Well, nice weather conditions across the islands today, but what else can we expect for the rest of the week as many prepare to go to the Exuma Islands for their annual regatta? Meteorologist Greg Thompson is live in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg.
Basically, what we're going to see for the next couple of days. We're going to enjoy some rather nice weather. Winds expected to pick up slightly, so I don't know if that's going to be in their favor, but I know they need some kind of breezy conditions out there to get their sailing going, but nice conditions for the rest of the week. Outside now, though, it's 75 degrees, few clouds, and warm east-northeast winds at 10 miles per hour, and your field-slight temperature is at 76 degrees. Satellite radar composite showing just some patchy clouds across the area, some low-level moisture moving off of the Atlantic with that northeast to easterly flow in the form of some clouds, but that high pressure is going to continue to dominate our weather. And as I said, we're going to see some increase in the winds starting tomorrow, and that should continue into the weekend. So it looks pretty good for the regatta. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on our news, some environmental concerns over on the island of Abaco. This is residents say there's a strong stench of diesel in Marsh Harbor. Plus, we continue our 5-part series from Grand Bahama as we introduce you to a woman who's turned her struggle into success. And later, the Bahamas Striping Group of companies doing their part to give back to the community. We'll tell you all about the major effort when our news continues.
You've seen electric cars on the road, but isn't it time you drive one? Easy Car Sales invites you to experience the smooth, powerful ride and immerse yourself in the luxury and latest tech features. Find out why the Bahamas is going electric. Visit easy242.com and book your test drive now. What are you waiting for? Save money, drive smarter. There's an EV waiting for you at Easy Car Sales.
Bahamas Power and Light Company Limited looks forward to helping our customers eliminate wasted energy. Energy conservation is the decision and practice of using less energy. Energy efficiency means using less energy to perform the same task, unplugging appliances not in use. That's energy conservation. Replacing an old refrigerator, washing machine with a new model, adding insulation to the attic and walls of a home. That's energy efficiency. People conserve to gain more control over their energy bill and to reduce demand on the Earth's natural resources. Take this journey with us as we build for better. BPL.
If you thought season 1 was amazing, then be prepared for season 2. More amazing artists, more amazing videos, and surprises you won't believe. Will Stocks be the first rapper to ever hit #1? Or will Kenya continue her dominant reign? Or will someone new come and shut it all down? Stay tuned for season 2 of 242 The Gospel.
A whole new season of Goombay Kids is coming soon. The kids find themselves on more exciting island adventures, meeting mythical characters, pirates, and mermaids as they explore their beautiful island nation. The Goombay Kids learn all about nutrition, marine life, the environment, cultures from around the world, and more, all with the help of the Goombay Kid experts, who are never more than a Goombay gadget away. Get ready to have a Goombay adventure.
What's up, this your boy Wyclef Jean. I'm chilling with Charlie Bahama, numéro 1, numero uno, number 1.
Charlie Bahama is back with new episodes.
How long we go back? It's early 90s.
In the Bahamas, what's some of your favorite Bahamian dishes?
I love fire engine. If you had a fire engine, you've never been to Bahamas.
You're right. So catch Charlie Bahama's new episodes coming soon on Our TV, Cable Bahamas, Channel 212.
So you said you're here for Sully's funeral? How do you know Sully?
He was my rock and my anchor.
Yeah, he was a good man. He most certainly was not. Watch what you say about Sully. Who is this child?
Your sisters. I'm asking you to do a few things for me. Once they are done, you will both receive.
Claims of a fuel leak in Marsh Harbor, Abaco from the leader of opposition business and shadow minister for the environment and natural resources, Adrian White. He says this diesel leak is impacting residents on the island. White claims residents and commercial property owners told him of the ongoing leak, which started sometime in March in Marsh Harbor, and they believe it's tied to a strong diesel stench in there.
What you see in this image, Mr. Deputy Speaker, is a drainage pipe that runs underground. It's letting diesel flow out into the harbor in Marsh Harbor. These things along here, these should be at minimum going across the opening and the entrance to the harbor. These have been put in place and they failed to contain the leak of diesel into the Marsh Harbor community.
White also noting that the offended gas station sits on the main thoroughfare, Don McKay Boulevard. Member of Parliament for North Abaco, Kirk Corner, says the leak has been identified by local government officials and the Ministry of Works, which is currently being addressed.
Upon investigation, it was determined that there was a leak in the service station fuel line. I was assured by the manager for Ministry of Works, Mr. Joshua Smith, that matter was addressed and the repairs was being made.
Now, following Cornish's point of clarity, White contends that the leak is still an issue as a local government council member visited the site just this morning. Now, we will continue to follow this story. Well, our beautiful Grand Bahama series that focuses on people sharing positive stories continues tonight. In this report, we hear from a Grand Bahamian resident who's sharing her candid story about how she was able to conquer adversities she once faced. Let's take a look.
because I was on the road selling drinks and snacks, trying to do business entrepreneur.
It's a heartwarming story from Grand Bahamian resident Carolyn Smith. Smith, who took the entrepreneurship route, was faced with hardships and financial instability as selling snacks wasn't making ends meet. The wife and mother of 3 was forced to search for a job.
I was willing to take anything that I could have. I couldn't find a job, being home and so forth, and waiting on labor board.
But at the end of every tunnel, there's a light. Through the beautiful Grand Bahama Employment Program, she was able to find employment at the Office of the Judiciary.
For me, it's a very exciting job. I'm excited about it every day. I be there before 8 o'clock. I be there like 6 something in the morning.
What you did for me and others, God bless you.
Thank you. Oh, wow. So unexpected. You deserve it. You deserve it.
Smith's journey from struggle to stability not only allowed her to provide for her family, but also paved the way for a brighter future as she now wants to further her education. She also had this bit of advice for others.
You're never too old to learn. And life, my mother taught us that once you have that mindset, you can do all things. And with all things with God are possible.
When our news comes back from the break, the Bahamas Striping group of companies doing their part to give back to the community. We'll tell you all about it straight ahead.
Coming up in sports, Aaron Lavarity is rewarded for a career season and a new sponsor for the World Athletics Relays.
And many are preparing to travel to the Central Bahamas for the National Family Island Regatta in Exuma. Wondering what the weather will be like? Well, Greg is back with the answer right after this quick break. Stay with us.
I'm chilling with Charlie Bahama, numéro 1, número 1, number 1.
Charlie Bahama is back with new episodes.
How long we go back? CSM is early 90s.
In the Bahamas, what's some of your favorite Bahamian dishes?
I love fire engine. If you had a fire engine, you've never been to Bahamas.
You're right. So catch Charlie Bahama's new episodes coming soon on Our TV, Cable Bahamas, Channel 212.
So you said you're here for Sully's funeral? How do you know Sully?
He was my rock and my anchor.
Yeah, he was a good man.
He most certainly was not. Watch what you say about Sully. Who is this child?
Your sisters. I'm asking you to do a few things for me. Once they are done, you will both receive your inheritance. The Paradise Hotel.
When can I sell? Is this what the hotel is really worth?
Don't take this the wrong way. It isn't really much of a hotel.
Welcome to our TV News. This is your boy, Charlie Bahama. And in the news today, the Charlie Bahama Show will be coming back on right here on our TV, Channel 212 in April.
Numéro 1, número 1, number 1.
I love fire engine. If you had a fire engine, you've never been to Bahamas.
So stay tuned for some really hot new episodes right here on this same channel, 212. Good job, boys. Good job.
This is 242 The Gospel, where we celebrate our Bahamian artists. You've been asking for more, and we're here to deliver. Welcome to the second season of 242 The Gospel. Who will be number 1? Let's find out.
This is our news. Welcome back. It was an MVP season in France for one Bahamian basketball player, and another major sponsor comes on board for the World Athletic Relays. Here now with our sports, presented by 10th year seniors, is Ronaldo Dorset and John Mark Nutt. Ronaldo?
Thanks, Natalia, and welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. That's John Mark Nutt. Let's do show. Bahamas national team member Aaron Lavarity had a career year in France's NM1 League and earned MVP honors. Despite Lavarity's numbers, his Boulogne club has struggled over the course of the regular season and will open the playoffs on April 26. Lavarity played collegiately at Milligan College in the NAIA. Following his collegiate career, he also played professionally in Denmark before signing in France in 2022. At the national team level, he recently suited up for Team Bahamas at the FIBA AmeriCup qualifiers in the home and away series against Puerto Rico.
Another major sponsor came in on board for the BTC World Athletic Relays. The nation's flag carrier announced its partnership today ahead of the much-anticipated event May 4th to 5th at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium.
We pledge our 1,000% support, and the excitement will not start when they hit the tracks. The excitement will start when they mount the steps and get into the plane at Bahamas Air.
The meet will feature 893 athletes from 54 countries. Olympic qualifying places will be up for grabs on both days of the competition. On day 1, the top 2 teams in each heat will advance to the final on day 2, while also securing their qualifications for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. In the finals on day 2, teams will compete for prize money and obtain Olympic lane seeding positions. All other teams will compete on day 2 in the additional round, where the top 2 teams in each heat will also qualify for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games.
Another Bahamian player faces an 0-2 deficit in the NBA playoffs. Eric Gordon and the Phoenix Suns dropped both games on the road to the Minnesota T-Wolves, including last night's 105-93 loss at the Target Center in Minneapolis. After a scoreless Game 1 where he shot 0 for 5 from the field, Gordon finished with 15 points off the bench in 23 minutes of Game 2. He shot 5 for 9 from the field and 3 of 5 from three-point range. The series now shifts to the Footprint Center for Game 3 on April 26 and Game 4 on April 28. Kai Jones has yet to play for the Los Angeles Clippers, and their matchup with the Dallas Mavericks is tied 1-1 after the first 2 games in LA. Games 3 and 4 will be April 26 and 28 in Dallas.
Franco Miller Jr. is looking to make the next transition from college to pro basketball. Miller was one of the standouts at the Eurobasket April Atlanta Eurobasket Summer League. Miller averaged 14.7 points, 4.3 rebounds, and 5.7 assists per game. He also led the league in efficiency. The 6'3" guard recently concluded his NCAA career and posted several career highs with the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles. He averaged 6.5 points, 3.4 rebounds, and 2 assists per game. Out of Crestwood Prep, Miller spent his first 2 seasons of college basketball at Ole Miss. At the national team level, Miller has been a mainstay on both the junior and senior teams over the course of his career. Most recently, he averaged 10.8 points per game at the pre-Olympic qualifiers in Argentina.
That'll do it for Our Sports, presented by 10th year seniors. For John Mark Nutt, I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on Our News tonight, the Bahamas Striping Group of companies donating over $100,000 to several charity groups in the country. Plus, nice weather conditions in the capital on this Wednesday. But will this continue throughout the weekend as many here prepare to travel to Exuma for the National Family Island Regatta? Greg is back with the answer when Our News continues.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home healthcare supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price, and you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Call now to get more of the care you need.
What's up, this your poor Wyclef Jean. I'm chilling with Charlie Bahama, numéro 1, numero 1, number 1.
Charlie Bahama is back with new episodes.
How long we go back? Last time, CSM is early 90s.
In the Bahamas, what's some of your favorite Bahamian dishes?
I love fire engine. If you had a fire engine, you've never been to Bahamas.
You're right. So catch Charlie Bahama's new episodes coming soon on Our TV, Cable Bahamas Channel 212.
So you said you're here for Sully's funeral? How do you know Sully?
He was my rock and my anchor.
Yeah, he was a good man.
He most certainly was not. Watch what you say about Sully. Who is this child?
your sisters. I'm asking you to do a few things for me. Once they are done, you will both receive your inheritance. The Paradise Hotel.
When can I sell? Is this what the hotel is really worth?
Don't take this the wrong way. It isn't really much of a hotel.
Welcome to our TV.
Welcome back to our news. Nice weather conditions in the capital on this Wednesday, but will this continue throughout the weekend as many prepare to travel to Exuma for the National Family Island Regatta? Greg is back in the Weather Center with your extended forecast. Greg.
I think we could do this newscast from Exuma for the weekend.
That would be lovely.
Yeah. Nice weather expected for the remainder of the week, though, and the upcoming regatta looks to be pretty good. It's a little bit on the breezy side expected as a high-pressure system strengthens across us. That's going to continue to keep us with some rather nice conditions through the remainder of the weekend into the weekend. Of course, I have a satellite picture here showing the Atlantic, and guess what? The hurricane season starts June 1st. We do have a system out there that the National Hurricane Center basically popped up, but it's not going to do much. It's going to swing towards the southwest, and eventually it's going to run into some hostile conditions. So the Hurricane Center is giving this about a 10% chance for formation. So we are asking you to get your hurricane preparedness already in place for the upcoming season. We do have some very large numbers, record numbers for the season, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that later on. But closer to home, as I mentioned, high pressure in charge. It's going to continue to keep us with some rather nice conditions, warm temperatures and breezy conditions, and that should carry us into the weekend. Future forecast, nothing happening out there. Old frontal boundary hanging out down near the southeast Bahamas, most of the activity in the Atlantic. That continues to Thursday and also into the weekend, and we do have some high-level moisture moving across us during that time frame. Boating forecast, caution flag for the Atlantic waters. Winds will be northeast to east 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4, but up to 7 feet along Atlantic exposures. High tide is at 9:12 tonight. The low tide takes place at 3:38 in the morning. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In your extended forecast, as I mentioned, beautiful conditions for the remainder of the week. Windy conditions starting tomorrow, and that should continue into Saturday. And then we expect temperatures to stay near the 80-degree mark. Nighttime temperatures in the low 70s. That's a look at our weather. Back to you, Talia.
All right, thanks so much, Greg. Well, the Bahamas Striping Group of Companies celebrating its 15th anniversary with a momentous ceremony at their Soldier Road headquarters on Wednesday. To mark this occasion, the company's president, Atario Mitchell, made a generous gesture by announcing a $150,000 cash donation to 15 charities across the Bahamas.
As we approach this anniversary, we reflect on our core values and the principles that have guided us since inception. At Bahamas Striping, we believe in giving back and being an integral part of our communities we serve. It is with great pleasure that I announce our decision to donate $150,000 to 15 charities through different islands of the Bahamas, such as Grand Bahama, Abaco, Exuma, Eleuthera, and New Providence.
Bahamas Striping began operations in 2010. Now, among those receiving donations was the Ranfully Home for Children.
It is through generous donations such as this that the Ranfully Home has been able to transform lives, mine included.
All right, well, with that, we thank you for joining us for our news tonight on behalf of the entire team. I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.